Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Chris with the C. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Guys, on the table, we've got the Team Corally Syncro 4. Now, as you know, I absolutely love this buggy. I honestly, genuinely feel this is a bargain for the money here in the UK. Now, in my ever-going quest to make things faster and a lot more stupid, I've come up with a bit of a plan. No, I'm not going to take full credit for this, all right? There is another YouTube channel called Kaos RC that I actually seen him do this upgrade. And it sparked me to think, well, actually, do you know what? I can give this a go. Now, what we're going to do with this car, we're actually going to upgrade the motor and give it some adjustable gearing. Now, a lot of you out there already know the Syncro has had a bit of a bad time for the fixed motor position. Some people have said, look, at the end of the day, I'd like to be able to adjust the gearing to suit myself. And I kind of agree in some ways. I mean, but having said that, what you've got to remember, guys, and I will make this point once again, is if you're buying this for someone who's new to the hobby, those fixed motor positions are going to save them a lot of hassle trying to work out the gearing mesh. So it's not a bad thing at all. But me, obviously I want to upgrade the car, well, as you know, the saying goes, upgrade everything. So I've come up with a plan. I'm going to put the head cam on and basically I'll show you what we're going to do to it. And yeah, this should make it a lot faster. When I say a lot faster, fingers crossed, it should be a lot faster. Now with this car, I will put it up on the screen right now, we did achieve with a 15 tooth pinion using the stock motor mount and the stock motor 50 miles an hour. That was at Garth Park, my local area, which I go bashing, and yeah, it's enjoyable. It's a lot of fun, a lot of poke. Now, I feel that I could probably get this up to around about 60, 65, maybe a bit more. Quite easy to do, and I'm going to show you in a sec. Right, head cam on, let's go and have a look. Come on then. Right guys, Team Corally Syncro 4, absolutely awesome little buggy, budget basher, probably the best budget basher on the market right now, my opinion. But you know, convince me if I'm wrong. Really enjoyed using this buggy. We have got it at 50 mile an hour. As I say, I've got a screenshot from the Sky RC GPS that I use, and I'll put it on the screen now. Now, in my ever-going quest to make things fast, as you know, I try to upgrade them bit by bit, and yeah, basically get the car to do things it's not meant to do. But you know, that's the hobby for me. I enjoy it. I ran this around Heverton. I used it and it was absolutely fine. But you know, like anything, it's, as the hobby is, guys, I will say it's very addictive to start upgrading things and just making them faster. So do I believe this buggy actually needs it? No. Am I going to do it? Yes. So that'll actually stop any haters out there in the comments. Now, okay, I want to fit this motor into the vehicle. It's a Surpass Rocket, the Rocket V2. All right, and it's the 4272 2500 kV. This came out of my TLR. I'm now using a full Max 8 combo in my TLR centered system. So I thought, right, how can I put this in there? Now, hunting around on net, looking for different various ways of actually fitting the motor into the car. I could have just gone with a stock motor mount. Let me just show you what I mean. So just going to take the body off, 2 seconds. It's just caught for there. There you go. Right, the motor that's in the vehicle, if anyone doesn't know, is a 40 size can 2150 kV. So obviously installing this is going to be hell of an upgrade in this. And the good thing is, because that's a higher kV motor, it's not going to affect using the rebranded Torox 135 ESC, which essentially, guys, is a Max 10. All right. Again, it is Hobby Wing branded electronics in many, in fact, not all of the Team Corally cars. So I was thinking to myself, right, okay, how am I going to get that in there, and how can I adjust the gearing and stuff? Well, that's quite easy. Came across a video on the net, Kaos RC. He came up with a plan to install the spark motor mount into the Syncro, and I found it on my favourite rcspares.com at the moment. Thank you, Laura, for the awesome service. Guys, check out rcspares.com if you're after any parts for your cars. They're a breaker year in the UK. If you use Chris with the CRC 10 at checkout, you will get a discount code. She's given us a permanent discount code for all the viewers, so definitely go check them out. The Team Corally Spark motor mount actually fits in perfect. Now, how do I know this? Because on the bottom of this car, let me just show you, you've got two screws. As you can see, it did take a bit of a beat in the chassis. You've got two screws, one there and one there. All right. Now, the screw pattern actually matches up beautifully. Where we to? There we go. So that I'm going to put that into the vehicle. I'm not going to need to change anything else. I am interested to find out if I can still use the motor mount cover and everything else that goes with it. But as you can see for the E-Glide, you have got 6.5mm bullets on the rocket motor. But if you look at the Max 10, it's 4mm. So what I did, I think it was not last night, night before, I knocked up the 6.5mm to 4mm bullets, or banana connectors, whichever way you want to look at it. They'll both work. So to connect this motor to the car, I'm going to pause the video here 2 seconds. All right, I'm going to start setting up the car, start taking things out. I need to remove all this, and then we're going to offer up the motor mount to the car. Right guys, so first thing we got to do is obviously remove the screws at the bottom of the car. I'm just going to do that quickly now. You want to get this motor mount out. Make sure you are going to need Loctite, obviously. Here's one. There's two. You can leave the front part of the motor mount actually in, so it should be alright. What we want to do really is just remove the motor. Let's have a look. Can I loosen this out now? What I think I'm going to need to do as well is remove the screws on the top plate. So it'll actually give me access to the rear. There you go. So yeah, as you can see, it is moving. I'm just going to loosen these off now, babe. Be right back. Right guys, so as you can see, what I've done here now is removed obviously the cover for the pinion. There's only two screws for that. On top, by the looks on things, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws, I believe. Like so. And then there's one here. I think that's a 2mm as well. Yep, that's 2mm. As I say, I don't believe in any shape or form that this actually needs this upgrade, but we're going to do it anyway. A couple more screws underneath. Like so. I should be able to remove the motor mount then. One there, one there. Okay, so that's giving us access to obviously the centre diff now on the motor. We should be able to pull this. Right, okay, so I am going to actually have to remove this on the front as well by the looks on things, because the chassis brace here is actually interfering with me pulling it out of the car, if you can see, like right there. So easy enough to do. Flip it over, 2 screws at the bottom. Now make sure you're keeping an inventory of where your screws and everything go. I actually feel the motor dropping down by there now. Right. Okay, pop that screw out like that, turn the car over, make sure I grab hold of it. That's the drive shafts. There you go. So that's the motor and everything actually loose. Gonna need to undo the cable tie here. I think that's on from a factory. Cable tie off and just unplug your ESC wiring. like so. So that's the whole motor module and everything. Now what I am going to salvage here is the pinion. I might check my toolbox a second just to see what I've got available, because I might actually go up on the gearing a little bit as well. Again, you don't need to do this, you can just use the gearing that comes with the car, but I'm going to see as proof of concept here if I can actually get a, I don't know, 16 tooth in there or something like that. But yeah, pause the video. Right guys, so motor mount. So that's actually what we're going to be installing on the car. It's fully adjustable. They do have these 3mm screws here, so obviously you are going to need the right driver for that. But you know, 3mm cap head screws is a lot better than using you know, 2s or something like that. So nice big screws in there. What I need to do now is obviously fix the motor. Now, judging on the car, let's just have a look quickly. All right, moving the car back up by here. Because of the wiring and the way the ESC is actually sat, I'm probably going to need to have my motor wires reaching over the car like so, because otherwise they're going to be too long by the time I add the adapters on there. So I'm going to put the motor on a bit of an angle, and then obviously that will come over here, tuck in like that, and then I can put it in. Job done. But yeah, I'm just going to pause it 2 secs. I'm going to start preparing the motor and the motor mount, and yeah, we'll go from there. See you in a second. Right, okay, so as you can see, what I am doing is salvaging the pinion gear I got in there. I'm going to reuse the motor screws that came with the car as well, and I'll quickly show you while we're on the camera why we're doing this, for anyone who hasn't actually seen the motor mount on the Syncro. Let me just remove that. So that's the motor. As you can see, it's quite the big difference in size. This one's wider, and obviously this can's longer as well. So what Corally have done, just to make the meshing nice and easy for any first time users, is they provided these fixed positions. So you've got let's have a look, 13, 15 and 17. So obviously you just use the corresponding screws. I did have to kind of cut the grooves in myself, or there was a little bit of a caveat when I picked the car up. It is a metal motor mount on one side and composite on the other, so it's a hybrid motor mount, but we are going to be using a full metal motor mount here to go onto the vehicle. So yeah, I'm just going to install this in the car now. Let's have a look. So that's going to go in like that, that's going in like that. I'm going to need to add Loctite to the screws as well. I'm fingers crossed. Let's have a look. So the best position I can actually get in there is like that, I believe. So let me just see if I'm going to offer it up to the car first. Got a feeling these screws are going to be too big, so I might need to find some of my own here. Maybe two. So it can't go like that, it must go like that. Now you are limited to the way you can mount this here by the looks on things. If you're going to go use the larger screws, which I'd recommend you doing. See, you've got smaller holes on the can, and then you've got larger holes each side. So I'm just going to work out which ones and pause the video a sec. Right, okay guys, so as you can see, motor is now fitted in. We do have a fully adjustable motor mount by there. I'm just going to loosely fit the pinion on a second, alright, because I just want to offer it up to the vehicle. Like so. We're now going to put this into the car and just see if the screws actually all line up properly. So I can't see any reason why not. This shouldn't work, but you know, you never know. Now let's get the vehicle up here, move the motor and everything out of the way. So the plan is plan is obviously I need to put this diff back in the right place. Make sure you're lining up your drive shafts properly. Like so, there's one. I now need to have this motor mount actually fit in there, like so. Pop that out. Okay, so we have got a little bit of adjustability there. I'm going to quickly put the screws in. I did have one issue, and I'll explain in a moment. I'm just going to tighten this down here. Like one there and one there, like that. I'm going to put the screws in the actual mount a sec. Now, the question is, are the screws going to match up on the bottom is the question. It should do. So I've seen a video of this being done. As I say, I will put a link in the description, guys. Kaos RC actually did this conversion on his Team Corally Syncro. And yeah, the good thing is then you've got fully adjustable motor mount. So I'm just going to pop that in. Obviously you need to see from the top. There's one screw there. I will put Loctite back into it. Like so. And then we need to line up the front. I've got the drive shaft in there is a question. No, I haven't. So I need to sort that out in a minute. But as you can see, guys, we now have fully adjustable motor mount with the motor in there, so plenty of room in there for it to happen. I need to put the drive shaft back in here, obviously line that up like so, but this motor mount does work. It does work. I can confirm it works, as you can see by there. But the good thing is now I've got fully adjustable mesh on the car, and yeah, I've now got this great big motor in there as well, which conveniently rests upon a screw here at the back. My motor connectors should reach over. The only issue I do have is the length of my motor connectors. And what I can do is possibly move them down over the car like so. And will the body go back on is the question. It's a push, but it does work. It does work. Now, the reason why I said there's a bit of a caveat here, let me explain, is as you can see on the side of the car there, the motor mount does poke out ever so slightly on the side of the chassis, but I'm alright with that. That's absolutely fine because it doesn't interfere with the body at all. I'm going to pause 2 seconds. I'm going to get everything mounted back up and I'll show you the final result, guys. Right, guys, so now I've proved that the proof of concept's actually going to work. I've torn it all back apart. I'm going to add some Loctite back into everything. Make sure you're adding Loctite, obviously, to the motor mount and all the screws and everything. It keeps it all in safe, and then reapply my drive shafts. And then I'm also going to need to add Loctite underneath to obviously keep the motor mount in. But I'm going to go ahead and do that a second, and then I'll come straight back to you. So there you go, guys. As you can see, the motor's all installed in. I've Loctited that back in. Now, the interesting thing here is, can I put the plastics back on is the question. So obviously we've got that going back on, like so. Will the screws match up? They should do, yes. Yes, they do. This screw is slightly interfering there, but that's not really a problem. Oh, actually, it's the other way around. Okay, so screws match up, no problem at all in the top of there. Then I'm going to put the plastic part back on as well. And also, will this go over the gearing? Yeah, it will. So as you can see, everything, apart from the motor mount, everything else stock-wise will actually stay. So I'm just going to screw all these back in. We'll put a battery in the car. I'll quickly program the ESC and we'll see if the wheels turn and everything. But I can't see any reason why not. The good thing is here, this is going to look quite stock. But apart from the motor mount and obviously the new motor, this is going to be absolutely awesome. Right, okay guys, so as you can see, everything's all installed. So let's just check the steering. So I've got my handset here. Left and right is fine. So it does seem like that I've actually got the forward and reverse different. So I'm going to just get my program card out and tune the ESC a second so the motor is actually going in the right direction. I'll be straight back to you now. Right guys, so what I'm doing here, all right, is actually programming the ESC because the motor is spinning the wrong way. All right, so the easy way for me to do this is with one of these handy dandy Hobbywing program cards. You can do it via the beeps, but I'm going to use the program card because it's easier for me to see and easier to program. Now, the way to do so is like so. If you go to page 4 of your Torox 135 instruction manual that came with the car, all right, what I need to do now is change the motor rotation. So if you go to option 6 and it's currently on option 1, which is the default, I need to change it to clockwise rather than counterclockwise. So let's turn the car on. As you can see, it's now ready. Item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change the value to option 2. Press OK. Now, is there anything else I want to change in here? Start mode punch. I'll probably turn that up to option 4. So that is, let's have a look. Start mode is option 10. And in fact, we've currently got it on option 4 anyway. So I think everything's all right there. Now press OK. And that should be programmed in. Be right back. Right, okay, so just programmed it, just checking on my handset. I've got, as you can see, throttle is on normal. Wheels are going forward. Everything seems to be working there okay. Motor's in. Motor mount is in as well. Might need to find a better screw, but I've Loctite that in. Everything seems to be in a bit better there. My adapters that I've made are actually being recognised. Got a 4S battery pack in there. Steering, I have got to straighten out a second. But yeah, proof of concept, guys. It does work. Right, okay, guys. So there you go. All installed. 4272, 2500 kV motor. 15-tooth pinion on a Spark adjustable motor mount. Now, remember I mentioned the slight amount of gap that's over the side, as you can see. Very, very minimal, but it doesn't affect the body in any shape or form. Now, some of you may ask why I haven't put different adapters on there. The reason is this, guys, quite easy. If I decide to use this motor in a different car, I've always got the Corally motor to go back to, and then I won't have to resolder any bullets, so I've got some additional connectors. When the body goes on, the motor wires fall down. There's no issues at all. But yeah, very, very interesting that this has actually happened. Two things here. Massive thank you to Kaos RC for actually giving me the idea and the concept of doing this. Second thing, massive shout out to rcspares.com Laura for getting the motor mount over to me. And what I'm going to do now, guys, is we'll go up top and I'll talk to you there. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so massive thank you to Kaos RC for giving me this idea with the Syncro. It's interesting that you can actually do this with the Team Corally cars. A lot of the parts from other vehicles actually do fit if you play about with them. The holes for the screws, everything lined up perfectly. So yeah, adjustable motor mount on the Syncro is an awesome thing. I've got a bigger pinion that I'm actually going to be installing on there. And bearing in mind, we are going to be running a higher KV motor now as well. So the car's going to be definitely quicker than 50 mile an hour for a start. If it isn't, there's desperately something wrong here. I want to say a massive thank you to rcspares.com for obviously the support they've given me with the channel, Laura. You're absolutely awesome. And Team Corally, obviously, for asking me to do all the videos with the Syncro. They haven't asked me to do this one, but this is something I fancied doing. I want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you obviously watching the videos. Each like, share and subscribe, guys. Doesn't go unnoticed. I'm really, really grateful and humbled for it all. The other thing is, guys, as well, 67% of you are not actually subscribed to the channel. And from a small channel's perspective, it's quite important to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. If you're enjoying the content, please do. It massively helps channels like myself actually reach their goals and get, reach out to the YouTube algorithm, so more people will actually see the videos. Guys, I'm gonna have a quick tidy up because obviously you can see it's a bit of a mess here. I'm also gonna give the car a quick run in the street and see how it feels. I will be doing a video on this car so someday this week, and I'll also put a GPS on this. I will report back to you guys to find out. As I say, it was 50 mile an hour. I think we're definitely going to be achieving more. Till next time, guys, make sure you check the box for more videos. I'll catch you later.